Joe Walsh's career is a rich tapestry of influences, each thread woven with the lessons passed down by the greats who shaped rock music into what it is today. His sound, instantly recognizable, is a product of more than technical ability. It's the result of years spent learning from the finest guitarists of his generation and those who came before. For Walsh, the guitar has always been more than just an instrument. It is a voice, one through which he could communicate emotions, ideas, and energy in ways that words alone could never fully capture. Of all the guitarists Walsh has credited with influencing his playing, Jimmy Page holds a special place. Both Walsh and Page emerged in an era when rock music was rapidly evolving, and both were known for their willingness to push the boundaries of what was possible on the guitar. For Walsh, Page represented the pinnacle of creative freedom. There was something in Page's approach, his mastery of dynamics, his improvisational flair, and his willingness to dive headlong into experimentation, that spoke directly to Walsh's own ambitions. In Led Zeppelin's music, Walsh found a kindred spirit, someone who didn't just play the guitar, but seemed to paint with it. Page's ability to shift between explosive power and delicate finesse, often within the same song, gave Walsh a model for how he could craft his own solos with both technical precision and emotive depth.
That's what he's doing. Took me a while to figure that one out. It's different then. Listen, it's different. That's one string. Aha! Forgive me, Jimmy.
While Page may have opened the door for Walsh to experiment, it was Dwayne Alman who helped him to develop one of the most distinctive aspects of his playing, the slide guitar. The story goes that Alman, the famed guitarist of the Allman Brothers Band, personally taught Walsh the intricacies of slide playing, a technique that would become a cornerstone of Walsh's sound. Alman's mastery of the slide was legendary, imbuing his notes with a vocal-like quality that bridged the gap between blues and rock. For Walsh, learning from Alman was a transformative experience. Slide guitar, with its fluidity and its capacity for expressing raw emotion, allowed Walsh to explore new avenues of expression. Tracks like Rocky Mountain Way showcase this skill to full effect, where the slide guitar doesn't just accompany the song, but drives it, giving it a sense of urgency and movement. Allman's influence is unmistakable, and yet Walsh, ever the innovator, took the technique and made it his own, blending it seamlessly into his broader sound. Another towering figure in Walsh's musical education was Les Paul, the guitarist and inventor who revolutionized the electric guitar itself. Les Paul wasn't just a virtuoso on the instrument, he was a pioneer, pushing the boundaries of recording technology and guitar design. Walsh's encounter with Les Paul, particularly the moment he was able to play Paul's own guitar, left a lasting impression.
Hey, how about a nice hand for Joe?
Oh, boy. This is a little boy's dream come true, I guess. Okay, how about this? Can we do a short and sweet blues in A? Yeah. Okay? I'd like to dedicate this to corporate three-piece polyester idiots that wear ties that decide what we listen to and what we don't. I think I'd have Les's approval on that. He's been up against him all his life, and I'm part of the new generation.
For Walsh, Les Paul wasn't just a master musician, he was the embodiment of what it meant to be an innovator. Paul's spirit of invention, his constant pursuit of new sounds and techniques, resonated deeply with Walsh, who himself was never content to stay within the confines of tradition.
I wanna be your personal manager, baby, and do everything I can for you.
Walsh's use of effects, his exploration of tone, and his approach to production all owe something to the trail that Les Paul blazed.
I wanna be your personal manager, baby, and do everything I can for you.
But these three legends are not the only guitarists who have left their mark on Walsh's playing. Throughout his career, he has cited a long list of influences, each contributing something unique to his musical palette. Jimi Hendrix, for example, was a guitarist whose sheer innovation and ability to transcend the instrument left a profound impression on Walsh. Hendrix's ability to manipulate feedback and distortion, turning technical limitations into creative opportunities, was something that Walsh admired and absorbed into his own experimental approach. Blues legend B.B. King was another figure whose influence on Walsh cannot be overstated. King's fluid phrasing and emotive style taught Walsh the importance of restraint, how a single note, played with the right feeling, could convey more than a flurry of fast runs ever could. King's influence can be heard in the way Walsh bends notes, often lingering on them just long enough to let the emotion sink in before moving on. Rock and roll pioneers like Chuck Berry and Little Richard also played a part in shaping Walsh's musical upbringing. Berry's sharp, rhythmic guitar playing and iconic licks formed the foundation of rock guitar, and like countless others, Walsh studied Berry's technique, adopting his approach to rhythm and lead playing. Little Richard, though primarily a pianist, brought a sense of wild energy and showmanship to rock that Walsh admired and later brought into his own performances. Eric Clapton, another figure deeply rooted in the blues, had a more direct influence on Walsh's style. Clapton's fluid leads and his ability to combine blues traditions with rock energy resonated with Walsh, who similarly straddled the worlds of blues and rock. Walsh was also drawn to Jeff Beck and Richie Blackmore, both of whom were known for their technical mastery and their ability to push the guitar into new sonic realms. Beck, in particular, was renowned for his use of the guitar's whammy bar to create unique pitch-bending effects, while Blackmore's work with Deep Purple introduced classical influences into hard rock, something Walsh would have noted in his own pursuit of blending genres. Ronnie Wood and Pete Townsend, both British rock giants in their own right, also had their roles in influencing Walsh's approach. Wood, known for his work with the Rolling Stones and Faces, brought a raw, rootsy quality to rock guitar, one that emphasized groove and feel over technical complexity. Townsend, on the other hand, was the consummate showman, known for his windmill guitar strumming and his ability to fuse rhythm and lead playing in a way that could carry an entire song. Both guitarists demonstrated the power of simplicity, how a few well-placed chords could create anthems that would stand the test of time. Manfred Mann, though better known for his keyboard prowess, played an important role in shaping Walsh's sense of musicality, particularly with his focus on songcraft and melody. Walsh admired musicians who could use their technical skills not just to dazzle, but to serve the song, and Mann's approach was emblematic of this balance. Walsh's reverence for these players was never about imitation, though. He never sought to simply replicate the styles of his heroes. Instead, he learned from them, absorbed their lessons, and then forged his own path. Each of these influences, whether it was Page's expansive creativity, Alman's emotive slide, or Clapton's bluesy elegance, became part of Walsh's DNA, woven into the fabric of his playing, but never overshadowing his own voice.
And it's this.
The result is a guitarist who can move effortlessly between genres, from the blues to hard rock to country, always retaining a sense of individuality. What sets Walsh apart is not just his technical ability, though his command of the instrument is undeniable. It's his ability to take the lessons he learned from his influences and shape them into something that feels entirely his own. He has never been content to rest on his laurels or follow a single formula. Instead, like the greats who influenced him, he is always looking forward, always experimenting, always pushing himself to find new ways of expressing himself through his guitar. In Joe Walsh's hands, the guitar becomes a tool for exploration. His influences are the foundation, but his genius lies in his ability to transcend them, to find his own voice amidst the echoes of those who came before. And in doing so, he has not only honored the legacy of his heroes, he has ensured that his own legacy will stand alongside theirs in the history of rock music.